Hi, welcome back to my channel. This video is for my recent reads, which I usually do on Monday, but I haven't been feeling well and I could not stop coughing long enough to feel like I could make a decent video. So I'm just pulling up Goodreads in case I need to refer back to it. I did read a book yesterday and I guess I'll include it in this one. Let me go to my spreadsheet. We're just gonna make a quick adjustment. Wrong victim, and her name is Allison Brennan. All right, yeah. I just decided to throw this in since I'm making this video a little later than I had planned to. Okay, so that was just a quick adjustment. So, what's this video about? Every Monday, today's Tuesday, but every Monday I'd like to make a recent reads video which will capture what I read from Monday to Monday. And yesterday, technically being Monday, we can talk about The Wrong Victim. I am currently reading a book right now. Can I think of the name of it? I don't even think I put it on Goodreads yet, because I started it last night before I went to bed. So I am reading a book right now. Yeah, Just the Two of Us by Joe Wilde. And I'll talk about that next week. So let's talk about this past week. The first book was Business Not As Usual by Sharon C. Cooper. Okay. I made the video already, and I don't think I've uploaded it, but I'll try to get it uploaded either just before this one here goes up or after. It doesn't matter. Here we have a beautiful protagonist named Dreamy Daniels. And my favorite thing about her is she speaks things into existence. I am beautiful. I am happy. I am a lottery winner. Yeah, I'm bouncing because I loved her, and you'll love her too. The thing about Dreamy is she was working a secretarial job, a dead-end job, while trying to get her bachelor's degree. And then she falls for this guy, or she begins to fall for this guy, but he's totally out of her league. And this book deals with something that I really like seeing handled, and it's class distinction. Yeah, there was class distinction. That was the underlying thing here, not with Dreamy and not with him, but with his sort, because he was, I think his name was Derek, I could be wrong, but he was a venture capitalist. His father was an A-list actor, big name in Hollywood, and she was coming from nothing. And I loved the way this story evolved, but more than that, I loved her attitude. So that was Business Not As Usual. The next two books I read were Deadly Summer Nights and Deadly Director's Cut by Vicki Delaney. Now, I'll throw both of these covers up at the same time. And this was the Catskill Resort Mystery Series, the first two books. And we have Elizabeth Grady. She's our protagonist / amateur sleuth. And basically in the Catskills, her mother was, somebody left her mother a resort. And now Elizabeth is managing it. And in both of the cases, a murder happens, and she becomes the one that tries to find out what happened, catch the killer, prevent the killer from killing again. Now, if you're a regular watcher of this channel, you'll know that Cozy Mysteries has slowly moved its way up to pretty much my top favorite of all of my favorite genres. And just for the heck of it, let's talk about my favorite genres. Let's see if I can name them all. Cozy Mysteries, women's fiction, romance, historical romance, historical fiction, psychological thrillers, mystery thrillers, biographies, and memoirs. I have read true crime. I have read fantasy. I don't read much horror or anything else. But guess what? Cozy mystery is like edging everything out the... Oh, Amish fiction. I forgot about that one. So, when I got Deadly Director's Cut for review, I saw it was book 2 in a series, so I went to my library and I got the first one, which as mentioned is Deadly Summer Nights. Well, the same thing happened with Knit or Die Trying. And I'm going to throw up 2 covers right now, and they are On Skein of Death and Knit or Die Trying. Now, I want to say something before I tell you about those 2 books here. Deadly Summer Nights, Deadly Director's Cut, and these 2 books that I have up on the screen, On Skein of Death and Knit or Die Trying, came at a time when I was having a rough day, and I needed something to comfort me. And a lot of times I'll binge watch TV, but it wasn't TV that I wanted to read. But I didn't want to read anything heavy. I didn't want to read romance. So I grabbed the 2 cozies that were in my upcoming TBR, which were Knit and Die Trying and Deadly Director's Cut. Well, finding out they were the second book in series, I went ahead and read the first book in each of those series. I even made a review called a Cozy Mystery Mini Reviews. So when you're having a bad day and TV isn't your fit, or you can't go out because of the weather, because of your health or whatever, check out some cozy mysteries. And I am actually going to be making a video that just features some massive cozy mystery recommendations. So if you have any, put them in the description box below, and I'll add them to that video that I make. So this one here is the Riverside Knitting Mysteries. Oh man, I love this. Now we have Libby Beckett. She just opened a yarn shop, and it's called YARN. No, it's not yarn. It's YARN, because that's an acronym for You're Absolutely Ready Now. But guess what? It depended on what kind of day Libby had, because YARN could stand for something else. Let's see if I can think of one. I can't think of one. You are really nice. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So that's what Libby would do. She would change the acronym based on how her mood was. I love that. So in On Skein of Death, somebody was murdered, and when they discovered the murder weapon, it really got Libby involved, because like something that's beloved to her used as a murder weapon was sacrosanct. She just couldn't handle that one. And then we have Knit or Die Trying, the second book in the series, where just like the other 2 by Vicki Delaney, these by Allie Piter, and I don't think I mentioned her name, Allie Piter. These were amateur. She was an amateur sleuth, and I love it, and I can't wait to read more books in both of these cozy mystery series. Then I read a Perilous Perspective by Anna Lee Huber, and what's the best way for me to summarize the let's see. Yeah, I already put this on my blog. I just want to go. This was a historical mystery. Now, I wanted to look it up really quickly because I didn't want to get the genre wrong. Now, I don't read much historical mystery. I read a lot of historical fiction and historical romance. And I read a lot of mystery, and I read a lot of cozy mysteries. But this was a historical mystery. And it took place in Scotland, 1832 Scotland. So what we have here is inquiry agents Lady Kiara Darby and her husband Sebastian Gage. Now, this is the 10th book in the Lady Darby mystery series. I am really glad that I got it, because generally I will not, 99 times out of 100, I will not read a book out of order, or I will not pick up a book later in a series. Either I will take the time to back read or just decline the book altogether. This is a case where it was a publisher request, a publicist request, and I say, yeah, let's go for it. So the first thing I'll say is it did great as a standalone. However, I love Lady Kiara Darby, and I love her husband, Sebastian Gage. So I went to fantasticfiction.com, and I found the previous 9 titles in the series. And they're all available at my library, and I will be binge reading that whole series, because from what I can tell, these titles come out yearly, so I've got plenty of time to read the other 9 books. And so in this particular case, with Lady Darby and her husband, is Kira and her husband were going to attend her friend Charlotte's upcoming wedding. Now, there was some drama happening because Charlotte's parents did not approve of her husband-to-be. But that was just a little tinge of the drama. The real drama was that somebody was killed. And Kara and her husband were inquiry agents, investigators, back in 1832 Scotland. And what I like about this book is propriety wasn't key because she had a job. She was a mother with a nursing child. But she had a job as an inquiry agent. I loved it. I love her character. I love both of the characters. And I absolutely am very much looking forward to continuing on with that series. Sorry, I'm just bringing Goodreads back up in case I need it, which I probably don't. And the next book we have is The Lighthouse Girls by B.R. Spangler. Now, this is Detective Casey White, book number 6. And I have read the previous novels, so I was very happy to read this one. And I think I've got to get the review up tomorrow, so I'll be writing it out today. And this is a mystery thriller where Casey's newest case is the body of a teenage girl was found washed up on a beach. And the beach is near a lighthouse, and therefore you have the title. But upon investigating, she discovers that the girl's little sister, 8-year-old, is missing. So now Casey's in a race against time to find out how the teenage girl got killed and where the little girl is. And while this is going on, Casey, her past comes up. Like when you read the inner dialogue, it's not really inner dialogue. That's probably an incorrect term. But as you read it, you learn more and more about Casey. You learn about her partner and how easily they get along and how dedicated they are to their cases. And, that whole police procedural vibe, because that's what it is. It's a police procedural. But I love Spangler. I love this book, and I believe I gave it 5 stars. I am so behind. I've been sick for a few days, so I'm getting things confused. I've just done too much in the last few days. Then we have Unmasked by Paul Holes. Now, that is this one, so I don't need to put the book cover up. That is this one where he was solving cold cases, and it showed at what cost. Did it cost him his marriage? Did it cost him his relationship with his children? Did it cost him his sanity? Did he get to the point of obsession? Or how frustrated could he have been? Or what were some of the brutal killers that he was after? What are some of his successes? What are some of his failures? Excellent, excellent book. The next book I read, which is another print arc. These are print arcs, which means when you get them, they'll be in hardcover format. But for reviews, they come like this. Now, this one doesn't come out to May 17th. So I haven't done the video or written a review on this yet, but I think I might do that today because I'm going back to my sick bed in a minute. So this is Bloomsbury Girl by Natalie Jenner. Now, I read last year the Jane Austen Society, and if I recall correctly, that was one of my favorite books of last year. So once I saw Bloomsbury Girl come up, here goes Robin, that doesn't even need to read the blurb. A, it follows Jane Austen Society. B, it's Natalie Jenner. Enough said, yes, I'll do it. And so I took the book. So basically it's about a bookstore where you have 3 female employees and they are rule breakers. I can't wait to make this video because I already have some ideas on what I want to say. So we're going to leave it at that. Then the next book I read was Death of the Black Widow by James Patterson. It's about a cop who takes once he starts working at the police department, and it follows his career for over a period of 35 years. Okay, Alex Cross, maybe. Michael Bennett, maybe. Nope, and nope. This was horror. Yeah, the Black Widow. Think about a Black Widow. They mate, and then they eat their mate. So you have someone, a crafty woman, who attacks men and does gruesome things. What's interesting is that as you get into it, you're like, this isn't a regular detective novel. This is kind of creepy. Yeah, thriller/horror. Great book, though. Then I read The Wrong Victim by Allison Brennan. And this is the one that I just added in because I read it yesterday while I was in bed. But we'll just add it in and then we'll start next week with the newest one that I'm reading. Now, this is a really good book. It's the third book in the Quinn and Costa series. I read the first two, which are The Third to Die and Tell No Lies. Now, Kara Quinn is I think an LA cop. I'm pretty sure she's from LA. And if you read the previous books, there's been a hit out on her. So she can't, and she's an undercover cop, so she can't work the streets right now because there's a hit on her. Well, fortunately, she's not out there doing nothing. She gets a temporary assignment with the FBI, and she gets partnered with with Costa, Matt Costa. Her name is Kara Quinn. She gets kind of partnered with Quinn. She has a different partner named Michael, but she's working with and for Quinn, who is her boss now at the FBI. What are they after right now? Well, what they're after, and it says the book with the title, we learn about it's called The Wrong Victim for a very good reason. Do we have a domestic terrorist, or do we just have do we have a domestic terrorist, or do we have a serial killer who doesn't care who his victims are? If you have one or the other, then you're going to have innocent victims who die that had nothing to do with the motive for murder. And that's why the question comes up, whether it's domestic or something else. And that's where Quinn and Costa work feverishly hard, not just themselves, like Catherine, who is like the FBI psychologist, and then there's Michael, who is Kara's partner, and then there's Quinn himself. You have all of these people working to try to stop this killer. But at the same time, you have the underlying romance that's there between Kara and Quinn. Why do I say Kara and Quinn? Kara and Matt. I know who they are. I love this series. You have this underlying romance, and you're going to find out whether or not there's a conflict of interest with what's going on with them. So that's the last book that I read that's going to be included in here. So I think that's 12 books, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, it's 12 books that I'm going to include in this video. I'm going to go edit it and upload it as soon as I can, but I want to thank you for watching. Bye-bye.